Iznik, Greek Nicaea, is a city in northwestern Turkey, located in Bursa, on the northwestern tip of the Asia Minor Peninsula. In ancient and medieval times, Nicaea in Bithynia was renamed Nicaea. In 301 BC, it was renamed Nicaea. In the second half of the 18th century, along with all of Bithynia, it became part of the Roman Empire. In 325, the Roman Emperor Constantine I the Great convened a great assembly of over 300 bishops in Nicaea. The Nicene Creed, which remains universal to this day, was established. The Second Council of Nicaea, held in 787, dealt with the disciplinary matters. During the First Crusade, 1096 to 1099, Nicaea was the first major fortress captured by the Crusaders. June 19, 1097, as Albert of Aachen, one of the participants of the First Crusade, described, Nicaea was well protected by the terrain and ingenious fortifications. The natural barrier was a vast lake that washed its walls and the waters of a moat fed by streams. The builders surrounded the city with massive walls, so it could fear neither assault nor the power of any machine. The walls of Nicaea were over 5 kilometers long, approximately 10 meters high, and had more than 100 towers. 2 councils were held there in Nicaea Iznik, I said. After the Crusaders captured Constantinople and established the Latin Empire in Byzantine lands, in 1204, Nicaea became the capital of the Nicaean Empire and the center of the Byzantine Empire rebirth. The city was captured by the Turks in 1331 and incorporated into the Ottoman Empire. The city was severely damaged by earthquakes in 123, 362, 363, 368, and the 6th century AD, but it was rebuilt each time. Beloved ones, there are days when you feel you can't cope, when the trials are too much for you. On such days, the Lord asks of you only one thing: trust. Don't look at the mountain's height. Look to the one who can move it. Stand firm, even if you tremble. God will do the rest. Holiness isn't perfection, it's self-denial. But the Church didn't begin with the Second Vatican Council. I've been to New York and approached the Flatiron Building from Madison Park, you imagine, one day. When it first rose above the streets of Manhattan, the Flatiron Building was unlike anything the city had ever seen. Completed in 1902, its bold triangular shape captivated the imagination of New Yorkers and photographers standing proudly at the intersection of Fifth Avenue and Broadway. The Flatiron quickly became one of New York's symbols, an enduring icon on innovation, elegance, and the city's unstoppable energy. Unrivaled design and impeccable craftsmanship. I visited also Bologna several times, but Piazza Maggiore impressed me the most. I think a walk along the Champs-Élysées in Paris always makes a huge impression on everyone. The Champs-Élysées wasn't always the famous bustling avenue we know today. Its history begins in 17th century, when the entire area was little more than marshes outside Paris. In 1666, King Louis XIV asked his landscape architect, André Lenotre, to redesign the Tuileries garden. Lenotre extended the garden's central path, creating a long straight path lined with elms. This new path didn't even reach Paris, it merely traversed wide, muddy terrain. Initially called the Grand Course and later Champs-Élysées, likely a playful reference to the marshy surroundings. A true transformation occurred in 1828, when the city added sidewalks, planted more trees, installed 1,200 gas lamps, and opened cafes, restaurants, and theaters. In the 19th century, during the Second Empire, the avenue became a symbol of Parisian elegance. Some of the stately residences were later replaced by lucrative modern buildings, but the Champs-Élysées retained its status as a luxury destination. Around the same time, the avenue also became a major center for the automobile industry because the Champs-Élysées lay on the road to the Bois de Boulogne, where wealthy Parisians enjoyed strolling. Carriage manufacturers and later automobile manufacturers rushed to open showrooms there. By 1909, over 22 car brands, including Mercedes, Peugeot, and Renault, had their stores on the Champs-Élysées. To this day, the Champs-Élysées is one of the most visited streets in the world, filled with luxury boutiques, theaters, historic cafes, and important cultural events. However, its history shows how a muddy, forgotten path, step by step, became the heart of Parisian life. But now, to Poland, I would like to mention a native gem. Built by the Teutonic Knights, Malbork Castle is the largest brick fortress in the world. Its majestic walls and medieval halls resonate with tales of battle and glory. And now, some up-to-date information here for you, beloved. In a unique place where history meets art, 1,000 candles will glow, the glow enveloping sounds that move the soul. In the heart of Częstochowa city, center of Poland, in the unique interiors of the John Paul II Coin Museum, you will hear music that has for years accompanied the greatest emotions of cinema. This evening, a string quartet will take you on a journey through the cinematic worlds created by Hans Zimmer and other masters of film music. You will hear themes from Interstellar, Gladiator, Inception, Pirates of the Caribbean, and The Lion King. Compositions that transport you to another dimension and allow you to experience each sound like a scene from a film. In the glow of 1,000 candles, the music will gain depth and museum space will transform into a magical stage filled with light, emotion, and atmosphere. This is a unique concert where the classical sounds of string meet the cinematic power of sounds. See them under 1,000 flames and let the music guide you into a world where every note tells a story. Film music concert by the light of 1,000 candles. John Paul II Coin Museum, Częstochowa, December 14, 2025, 7:30 p.m. Let this evening become your own film story, written in a candlelight and sounds that linger in your heart for a long time. In the times intellectuals have found God again, imagine. Michael Heller, who likes not to know. His books are very important for our generations. You may read them. Jesus Christ offers you a kind of peace you won't find anywhere else. The certainty that no matter what you face. One day everything will be all right. Talk to missionaries from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But, as I said, the Church did not begin with the Second Vatican Council. The Great Army saved. Don't be discouraged by difficulties. On November 26, 1812, the crossing of the Berezina River by the remnants of Emperor Napoleon's troops began. After losing the bridge at Borisov, the army faced the problem of crossing the river. On November 23, French General Jean-Baptiste Juvenal Corbineau found a fort near the village of Studianka. Construction began on two 100 meters long wooden bridges, and the river crossing began on November 26. The construction of the bridges was led by General Jean-Baptiste Blais and constructed by French and Polish pontooners and sappers, whose participation in these dramatic events is known only to a few. Major Maciej Rybinski of the 15th Infantry Regiment on the Duchy of Warsaw, who was crossing the Berezina River on the night of November 26-27, 1812, left the following recollection of Polish soldiers who, immersed in the freezing cold river current, worked on a bridge. While crossing the bridge at night, I stood at its entrance until the entire regiment had passed. Standing there, I heard splashing in the water, hacking under the bridge, human voices. I looked with the officers who were with me, and I saw the pontoon boatmen. I thought they were French, then Polish, and between them, French standing in the water, repairing broken beams and the like. I said to the officers in Polish, "What a sacrifice these men made. Today they're repairing in it. Tomorrow they'll catch a cold and die in a few hours." And they said, "Yes, but here we go, so the army can cross." Beloved, God wants you to read everything I'm telling you here. Too many ideas, too little time to write them down. Capture your best thoughts immediately. Your mind listens, understands, and transforms them into clear, practical text. Grateful for hearing my words. Warm regards, Father Stanislav.